Welcome to Dog Hugs, your podcast celebration sponsored by Doggijuana. Dog toys and treats crafted with naturally calming Juana nip. Loving pets. That's what we do. 5 strands affordable testing, your roadmap to better health. Equus USA human grade natural shampoos, conditioners, flea and tick sprays with your hosts Larry and G-Dog. That's Geralynn Cada and me, Larry K. Today's guest is neuroscientist Dr. Leslie K, who will help us understand the amazing nose. Plus, it's Beagle Mania, and we'll have Christmas fun for our last show of the year. Big giveaway today, so stay and play.
Welcome, everyone, to Dog Hugs, the home for the best life for your dog today. I'm Geralynn Chada, coming to you live from Kansas City. Little puppy.
And Santa Larry coming to you live from the Laundry Lounge in Los Angeles with my elf Spider, the wonderful trick dog. We have a great show for you folks. We have a very special guest, and I know we say that a lot, and this one is very near and dear to my heart because it's my sister. Yes, Dr. Leslie K, neuroscientist, is also my sister, and we are going to talk about the nose.
Larry, your hat's falling off. You'll have to adjust your hat.
My brain is pouring out. That's what happens when you talk about neuroscience.
I think Santa kicked your hat off by accident when he flew over the neighborhood.
I need an upgrade. Here we go.
Nice. Yay.
So we have a giveaway today from our sponsor, Doggijuana.
We have some amazing gifts for you from Doggijuana today. Of course, you guys love our line. It's hilarious. If you don't know very much about it, we'll tell you a little bit about it later. However, today you can win. All you have to do to win is type yes in the chat or let us know that you'd like to be a part of the giveaway. And Charlie will assign a number to you. And later in our show, Spider, the amazing trick dog, is going to draw one of the numbers of our winner's number out of the laundry lounge, out of our wheel-o-rama in the laundry lounge.
And
so just type yes in the chat.
That is you. So come on in. You know,
Don't miss
it's
out.
really interesting. I'm seeing that we've got a tiny audience. We may not be going live on Facebook here. Charlie, can you check our Facebook and let us know if we are live on Facebook? Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, let's check it out and make sure we're live.
Because we are live. Hello, Billy Lee on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Larry, Darlin, Charlie, and Spider, and little one there, your little elf. Yep, and private chat says live in the corner. Great, we are live. It's just folks don't know about us yet, or everybody else is out there Christmas shopping. Well, welcome, Billy Lee. We're so glad to have you with us. So
we have a lot of really amazing things to share today. So whether you're with us live today or you watch us on the replay, we do have some interesting things to share regarding only the nose knows. It's an interesting concept to think that dogs live mostly through their noses. We live through our noses quite a bit as well, but we also have other senses that are strong presence within our sensatory abilities, especially sense of smell. But with dogs, it's especially puppies.
Hang on 1 second. Billy Lee says can't find you on Facebook. So I don't. Let me see.
Well, I went on Facebook and it is live, Larry. I went on Facebook.
It is live, huh?
It's live.
Is it on Positively Woof? All right, just a second.
It is.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Geralynn.
No, we're good. We're all good. I just want to make sure that we're live, and we are. I just checked on Facebook.
Let me see here.
Let's take another peek. However, if you think about puppies and you think about how they're born without sight and without hearing for the first 10 to 12, 14 days of their existence outside of their mommy's tummy, they literally live through their noses. one of the senses that's so important to them to help them eat is their sense of smell. If they're not able to smell where mother is and where mother's milk is, then they could very easily starve to death because they can't see, they can't hunt. There's no way they'll be able to chew anything, even if it's a bug they find on the floor. So literally do live through their noses to search out mother by the smells, by the hormones, and by the pheromones. So we're going to go over some really interesting concepts when it comes to that today.
Yeah,
aren't we there?
We are, yes. And folks, we are live on Facebook. We just, everybody must be out Christmas shopping today. And the two of you who are watching, we're so glad to have you with us. And the one of you who's watching, we're so glad to have you with us, Billy Lee.
Thanks, Billy Lee.
This is a mystery. It says we're live.
Well, and we're live on Facebook because I can see us on Facebook right now. In fact, I can see myself looking at our show. However, I will say that some algorithms have changed recently with different things. So there's a good chance that one of our algorithms for
let's see,
with Facebook has changed a little bit.
Okay.
And we will figure that out because we are these.
Figure that out. Yep. All right. So here we go. Okay. Now it's happening. I think I just figured it out. Okay. So weird. Charlie said that they switch things around. Okay. Yes, they do that, don't they? Yeah.
They do.
All right. So Billy Lee, if you're still with us, and it looks like a few other folks are coming in now, want to share with you some wonderful stuff on the nose. So the dog's nose is 10,000 rather times more powerful than our nose. And it's really hard to conceive of what does 10,000 times more powerful mean. And Geralynn, that's at a minimum.
That's at a minimum because different breeds have different sensitivities. And part of this sensitivity that dogs have when it comes, an example, a bloodhound is used as they're a tracker. They can go track anything, including a human being, and they can find where they might have gone and follow their scent. They have such a sensitivity to those scent molecules that are out there. Plus, they have long ears that help trap the scent, and this amazing nose that dogs have to be able to smell and track a human being.
So the way that smell works, obviously, is it comes in our nose and it goes down into our lungs, our respiratory system, and then also up into our brain, our olfactory system. And your dog's nose is engineered brilliantly because it doesn't just have these nostrils. But if you notice on the sides of the dog's nose, there are also slits on the sides of the dog's nose.
See them right there, and see how he's twitching them a little bit. They're a bit of a see. There's that little slit, and he's even got them now, and he's just a baby. So that's actually that little slit is called a why can't I speak today?
Yeah. They're like turbines.
Turbinates. They're little it's almost like a turbine where air comes in and out at the same time. And the circulating of air and the being able to breathe in and breathe out at the same time allows the dog to capture more scent molecules in their the olfactory sensory area in the layers of their nose inside of their sinus cavity. And that takes messages up to their brain. Those hormones, pheromones, the scents they're smelling help them communicate what's going on around them in their environment. And in order for them to really know what's going on, they try to grab as many scent molecules as possible. And that's why this turbinate type of breathing for them is so beneficial.
Not only that, but dogs have an organ that we don't even have. It's called the vomeral nasal organ. And it's for processing smells. So yeah, there's going to be a quiz at the end of the show. So the vomeral nasal organ, what's amazing about that is it helps dogs smell pheromones. And Geralynn, tell us the two main kinds of pheromones about love and fear.
Well, oxytocin is our love hormone or our love pheromone. And obviously, almost all mammals have this. And then for fear, there's cortisol and obviously some adrenaline, but cortisol is the main one. It's something dogs can smell in a human or in other dogs. They can tell by smelling a human or smelling another animal, whether or not they're in distress or they're in love.
Yes. And here's an example with this snake. So another name for the vomeral nasal organ is called Jacobson's organ. And notice how the snake's tongue you'll notice a snake puts its tongue in its mouth a lot, flicks its tongue. It's because it's depositing scents right up into that organ, and then it goes up into the brain. So we don't have that. Dogs do, snakes do, we don't. Or, well, we do, but it's what they call vestigial. It's just, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so
Hanging out.
yeah, so that's a start for our nose. Let's now we're going to come right back in a moment, and we want to share with you some really wonderful holiday greetings as well as words from our sponsors. So stay tuned now. Dog Hugs will be right back.
Doggijuana, from the makers of Meowjuana. Revolutionary new dog toys and treats crafted with naturally calming Wana nip. Check us out on TikTok.
Loving Pets Foundation's treats are an ideal reward when working to establish a schedule or when teaching new skills. They're small, soft, bite-sized treats. And all packages come with a free carabiner, which allows you to attach the package to your belt loop, or leash for easy access. At Loving Pets, we make solutions for better pets easier. Loving Pets, it's what we do. During medieval times, the term beagle described a small foxhound-type dog. Later in history, beagle nicknames included glove beagle, pocket beagle, and the term beagling or hunting rabbits. Today's beagles are unmistakable. Their super sense of smell and tracking instincts led beagles from the hunting field to become today's detection dog. Beagles are award-winning, intelligent, and are known by their singing hound howl.
Here's your bill. Please pay out front.
A visit to your vet shouldn't cost you an arm or a leg. With a testing kit from 5 Strands, keeping your best friends healthy has never been so affordable. 5 Strands Affordable Testing will help you build a roadmap to better health. Go to 5strands.com today.
The world's most famous beagle is Snoopy. Born in the Peanuts comics in 1950, Snoopy is kind to others. He can also be lazy. Snoopy has a great imagination. Snoopy has appeared on postage stamps around the world, in parades, at theme parks. Snoopy even has a museum. All over the world, Snoopy is the Baron of Beagles.
Pet suffer from red, itchy skin or flea bites and nothing you've tried seems to help? Equus Microtech Shampoo and Spray are the finest and most cost-effective option available. Microtech Shampoo and Spray soothe on contact. Why go to the vet? Help your dog or cat with just one application at a fraction of the cost. Microtech stops scratching, biting, and licking instantly. Microtech smells great, and it's safe for use on puppies or kittens. Available online at eqyss.com. Microtech Shampoo and Spray. It's guaranteed.
And now more dog hugs. Welcome back. Hey, I like that hat there. Little elf.
We're having a party. We're having an elf party over here. How you doing? Yes.
Are you thinking of names there?
I am actually. I think this one will be Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally. Ride,
She's a
Sally,
doll.
ride.
Ride, Sally, ride. She's a goodie. She's a sweetheart. You hungry? She was the first one to open her eyes, and she was the second one to start walking. So she's on
Mustang.
it. She's a Mustang for sure. Yes. Yes, and she makes the cutest little squeak noises. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, folks, you're probably going to be watching us on replay. Facebook says we are live. We see us live, but we don't see anybody on Facebook right now. So we've got some kind of a glitch, which we apologize for if you wanted to see this show live and we wanted to share it with you live. This is our last show of this season. And we will be coming to you next year once a month. Gosh, if anybody is out there, please give us a comment because
Please do. Please reach out. Let us know you're there.
Yeah, let us know you're there because we want to do a giveaway for Doggijuana.
And let your friends know, actually, if you're online right now, let your friends know to jump on and grab up some Doggijuana. How fun, right? What a fun prize. Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to do? Should we just jump into the next part?
Let's jump into Leslie's interview. It's amazing. I just think that she's such an amazing human, and I love her focus on the nose. It's an amazing thing to study. It really does kind of rule our world. Our noses matter so much in everything we do.
Yeah, and both of you really understand how the nose and just all of that works. Your whole company is
based off of olfactory stimulation.
Yes. So anyhow, I think you're really going to enjoy this interview with my sister, Dr. Leslie Kay.
Leslie, welcome to Dog Hugs. Thank you for being here. I would love for you to help me and our audience understand something about the human nose that we may not know. I always thought that a dog's nose was way more effective than a human's nose.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, both of you. In many ways, dogs' noses are better than ours, but it's a myth that we don't smell very well. What dogs can do is they're much more sensitive to odors because they have many more olfactory receptors, which are up inside the nose. We have just a tiny patch. It's about 10 square centimeters, where dogs have about close to 200 square centimeters of sensory epithelium. So they're much more sensitive to odors. We have on the order of about the same number of types of olfactory receptors between dogs and humans. They have a couple hundred more than we do. We have about 400, they have about 600. And so we're sort of on equal footing there. But while we don't have very sensitive noses compared to dogs, what we do have is a lot of other brain that is involved in, thinking about odors and perceiving them and things. Dogs have this too. And in fact, our olfactory systems are nearly identical inside, once you get inside the brain. But we also have language where we can assign labels to odors. And so some people have estimated, and I think it's probably an overestimation, But, there's been one estimation that humans are capable of identifying about 1 trillion different odors. That's a lot. But even if it's just 1 billion, that's a lot, right?
Yes.
And our language actually helps us to distinguish those. But we can do a lot of things that people didn't think humans could do. Like humans can track odors like dogs can if they're challenged to do so. Noam Sobel's lab, he's at the Weitzman, but when he was at Berkeley, his lab did an experiment testing undergraduates to see if they could track odors on the grass on their hands and knees. And they can do pretty well, even when they don't think they can smell the odor. So it's only been like a couple hundred years that we haven't lived in an environment that required us to pay attention to odors, right? And that's
what are some things that we used to be required to do that we no longer do?
You needed your nose to tell if someone was sick, to smell their breath. You needed your nose to tell if food was okay to eat, because you want to smell it before you eat it, right? You don't want to eat it and then find out it's bad. And things like that. I mean, 200 years ago, the world was a really much smellier place than it is now. And if that doesn't convince you, 200 years is not enough time for evolution to change our brains. But if that doesn't convince you, our the international expenditure on fragrances every year is probably in billions of dollars, right?
I love the smell of puppy breath.
Yeah, and babies, right? And babies.
Yes.
Right. But the fragrance industry is one of the most profitable and biggest industries on the planet in terms of consumer goods. And we spend so much money on fragrances for everything. So smell is clearly important to us. And we pay a lot of attention to it. If something doesn't smell right, it's really hard to be around it. Right.
Let's talk a little bit about smell memory.
Smell memory is a really interesting thing. So there's this idea that, and this experience that smells seem to evoke sort of better memories than other sensory things, right? Seeing a color or a picture or something doesn't give you the sort of visceral, I'm right back there in the moment kind of feeling that a smell might, like the smell of your childhood home, or some smell that you've grown up with that's so familiar to you. And the thing is, it's not that we're better at remembering those odors, it's that they are more emotional. So the olfactory system is connected, in one synapse, one step from the nose. You go into the olfactory bulb, and then from there you're right in the amygdala, you're right in the limbic system, the parts of the brain that are really involved in memory and emotion. And so when odors are familiar, we get a really emotional sense of familiar, but we don't always know what they are, right? It's like, oh, I know that odor, and it's just, oh, it's taking me back, and you don't know where it's taking you back to. So we don't necessarily remember memories as well with smell, but we remember them more with more emotion.
Always noticed a certain smell. When I smell dill, it reminds me of my grandmother's house because she had a dill garden, and they used to use a lot of dill to make pickles and on fish. So every time I smell dill, my brain goes right back to grandma's house.
Yep.
But
I bet there have been times when you've smelled dill, but in the wrong context, and it's made you feel like something is really familiar, but you can't really identify it.
Yes, that's happened to me before, right? And I'm pretty sure dill was in the air with cooking that was overpowered by others, but that my brain still picked that up, and I still felt like that same feeling there.
Yeah.
So
very
that's
pretzel-y kind of discussions about why we don't have language for odors. But it turns out that we do, if you speak the right language. So Asifa Majid, who's a researcher at York University, has done a lot of cross-cultural work on smell and other sensory words. And what the Jahai people of the Malay Peninsula and other smaller, less industrial cultures that she studied have some of them have rich odor language that are abstract words. And what she found is that they are much better at naming odors than people who speak English, for example.
And they, in their daily lives, perhaps need that for daily life. For
it's part of their culture. It's the way they talk about the world. Like we have a lot of visual words. They have a lot of smell words, just because of that's what they do. And it's part of their, I know it's part of their culture. I don't know if it's part of their religious observance, but it's definitely part of their everyday life to talk about smell. So it's really interesting. And so having, a rich odor language makes you also able to identify odors better, because we really don't do so well identifying odors when they're just, random.
So we may have the receptors, but we just don't have the words. And because we don't have the words, maybe we don't think about it.
Yeah.
With those distinctions.
Yeah. But if you're trained, right, if you're a perfumer, you are able to tell really fine differences in odors and talk about, odors in great detail. Now, if you don't have the language for it, you have to say a lot more words. I can't just say red. I have to say, like, it's hints of fire engine, but also traffic light.
With a touch of Solo Cup.
Yes.
Leslie, why noses? What, you jumped into studying noses, and I'm really so shocked by what I want to know what led you there. It must have smelled good.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of an accident. I came into graduate school from a kind of bizarre educational background. I went to St. John's College, which is a basically deep dive for 4 years into philosophy and mathematics and science and literature, great books, curriculum. And I loved philosophy. I was more of a philosopher than anything. And I walked into this professor's office and we had a great conversation. And he had bookshelves, basically filled with poetry and philosophy at Walter Freeman and at Berkeley. And we had such a good conversation that I just stayed. And he was working on olfaction, but mostly on brain dynamics. And that's what I work on. And he was really one of the first people to talk about chaotic dynamics in brain activity and brains as self-organizing systems and things like that. And I just found it fascinating. And as I worked more on it, I grew to appreciate olfaction because we don't have any prejudices about odors, except that we think that we're not good at it. But,
what was it like growing up with Larry?
He was an awesome brother. No, he was very, he and our other brother, Paul, were my big brothers. I have one younger brother, Mike, but
I do too. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? They protected me, from bullies sometimes, but more we played a lot, and we fought a lot too. But we played a lot, and we watched a lot of cartoons until like well into our teenage years. Saturday morning cartoons.
Do you remember a favorite cartoon that you shared?
2 of them, Scooby-Doo and Roadrunner.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah. That was when you could only watch one show, right? You couldn't be on your phone watching a different show, so everybody ended up liking the same thing.
And they didn't have picture back then.
And he was the oldest, so we had to watch what he liked. So.
Wouldn't
Unfortunately, I liked Scooby and Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And baseball.
And baseball, right. Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to be any other way.
Ashley, you know how this show works. We love to do a shelter shout out, a shelter, a rescue organization, animal welfare organization. Who you got?
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to the shelter where we got our dog from, Chopu, from Paws Chicago, and
Great one.
they're an awesome organization. And my wife and one of our daughters found the dog, and we're gonna adopt it. And we talked on the phone, and then we had to have the whole family come before they would give us the dog. And I was at work, and our other daughter was in school. I forget why Riley was not in school. And so I canceled the meeting. I said, "Oh, family emergency." And I left to go to Paws up on the north side. And yeah, when we adopted him, he's the best.
Nice. Leslie, at Dog Hugs, we are wrapped in gratitude. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a special someone that you'd like to give us a shout out today on our show?
Well, given that, this is a time of year when one thinks about family, and we got family here, I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Larry, but my whole family, my parents, my other brothers, and my wife and my kids. I mean, that's really the most important thing to me in the world, and they give me everything. The rest of it's gravy.
Beautiful.
Looking forward to sharing some gravy with you over the What a treat. Thank you so much, folks, for getting a chance to meet my wonderful sister and learn about the nose.
Yes, because only the nose knows, right?
Only the nose knows. Yeah. Hey, folks. So Facebook today has been having some technical glitches. And what that means is we're going to redo this entire show tomorrow, same time, same station. We're going to redo the whole show, and that'll be a chance to be in the giveaway, unless we've got somebody who would like to be in today's giveaway, because right now, nobody.
Yes, we do have some glitches. So I think tomorrow will be fun. We'll let your friends know. We'll be giving away Doggijuana tomorrow as well. And and Larry, would you like to begin gratitude today?
Yes, I sure would. So, folks.
Oh, wait, we have two entrants today. We actually do have two entrants.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, that it's so interesting. The comments are not coming in the usual place.
So you want to go ahead and do gratitude, and then the drawing, and then we'll do the same thing.
Great idea. Yeah, we've got a big bunch of gratitude. Since even though we're redoing the show tomorrow, this is intended as our last show of the season. And in addition to being so grateful for you, which we'll say again at the end of the show, we're really grateful for everybody behind the scenes who helps us put on this show. Geralynn, you want to jump in with the next part?
Absolutely. We are not only grateful for our audience, as Larry mentioned, we love our behind the scenes people. We have not only over the last 3 seasons been able to work with some incredible human beings, but we're all still lucky enough to call each other friends. So I'm grateful for Robbie, Aaron, Charlie, Ashley, Dylan. Help me out here, Larry, because I'm going to miss some people.
We got Justin, our 2 editors.
We've had help from our sponsors. We've absolutely loved all of our sponsors over the last 3 years. We have more than we could name. And also, probably most importantly, thank goodness for Spider, because we wouldn't win. You wouldn't win your prizes if he wasn't so great at fetching the ball out of the wheel O-Rama. Right, Larry?
Thank you. Well said. Speaking of which, I'm going to go get the boy right now, and we have 2 entrants. We've got a runoff between 2 past champions, Billy Lee and Kimberly. Who's it gonna be? Billy Lee, Kimberly.
Whoever bribes Spider fast enough or texts him first is who he's probably going to choose. So we'll put number 1 and 2.
Let's see. So we got number 1 and 2. So Billy Lee, you're going to be number 1.
And
And Kimberly, you're going to be number 2.
but you're always
and-
number 1 in our heart, Kimberly.
And here we go.
And Spider is poised and ready to go. And we are very grateful for all of you that join us every week and have watched our shows through the last, 2 years and 3 seasons. We really appreciate not only your loyalty, but we appreciate your love for pets and dogs and cats in general. Oh, look who Kimberly
And
was.
Of course,
Congratulations,
of course
Kimberly.
it's Kimberly. So, Kimberly, you win yet another prize. And since it is Christmas, hey, Spider. Spider's not available. He's out barking at somebody, so I'm going to take Spider's job. Billy Lee, you're going to get a special prize too.
Everybody's a
go.
winner on Dog Hub.
Everybody's a winner today. So, thank you so
Charlie.
much. And again, we're going to redo the whole show tomorrow. And, we are sure grateful
For you.